Evanston.
Back-to-back 20-point games for Pardon. Our starting lineups are presented by Jeep. Vic Law coming off a 19.7 rebound performance in the loss here to Michigan a couple days ago. As for DePaul, Sean, big story, number 31, Max Strus.
Matchup to watch when DePaul is on the offensive end. He will be challenged by one of the elite defenders in the league in Vic Law, who corrals the tap for the Wildcats.
And now A.J. Turner. And the Wildcats have the ball to begin the game today. The 34th all-time meeting. Northwestern has won the last 3. Trying to slip it to Law, and it's kicked. The Blue Demons, it'll stay with the Wildcats at 20 on the shot clock.
Yeah, they'll reset from 15 to 20. Nice job of opening up there by DePaul. Good job by Northwestern of trying to utilize that defensive intensity against the Blue Demons.
Catch and shoot. Ryan Taylor off the mark. Rebound. Corralled by Strus. And now the Blue Demons up the floor for the first time. Devin Gage, sophomore from Chicago. Took a medical redshirt last year after injuring his Achilles. Only appeared in 8 games. And there's the Strus-Law matchup. We'll see that throughout the game. And there's a foul. And Vic Law shoved the back, and that's the first on the redshirt senior.
And that's one, if you're Northwestern, you do not want to have that be your first foul for Vic Law. You've done your job, Corey. You forced Strus away from the basket with his momentum taking him the other way. No need to give the contact, especially here early.
Blue Demons at 5-1. One of those wins came in the Gavitt games against Penn State. Strus for 3. Welcome back. The senior knocks it down, averaging 19 points per game.
I mean, it wasn't as if Law was awesome. I mean, that was a big-time shot by Strus.
Watching Strus during pregame warm-ups today, he was knocking him down from 30, 35 feet and made it look easy. The freshman Kopp, nice stroke, averaging 5 points per game. Freshman Kopp starts. As Chris Collins says, he doesn't like to bring all of his freshmen just off the bench. And now Kane with a 2 from the wing. Eli Kane, senior, averaging 14 points, 5 rebounds per game.
And you also have to make sure that you guard Kane on the perimeter. One of the few three-point threats at 39% for the Blue Demons.
Pardon, bump by Alujabi, no whistle, we play on. And Kane had a really poor game against Northwestern last year. Now it's Kopp guarding Strus. Along the baseline, Alujabi rattled out. And Kopp the rebound.
And you can see what DePaul is doing, Corey. They want to make sure that they get back in defensive transition. They're sending no one to the basket because of how well Northwestern's able to get into transition. And Strus sizing up Vic Law. And just able to shoot over the top. The hand down just long enough for Strus to get a clear look and knock down the 3, something he does 33% of the time.
Vic Law too strong. Alujabi the rebound. Strus, preseason second team, all Big East selection.
Nice help there by Pardon defensively. Really good job.
And Coleman Lands pushed off, offensive foul.
Good job right there by the freshman Kook, because Coleman Lands is really known as a three-point shooter. He has struggled in that regard, only 24% conversion rate, but his 2 years in Champaign playing for the Illini, that's kind of how he got his reputation, knocking down threes. He was 40% from behind the arc during his 2 years in Champaign. That has not carried over thus far to his DePaul career.
Here's Law off the screen from Pardon. 46% three-point shooter is Vic Law.
Go take a look at that when you saw the officials jogging down court. They're going to take a look to make sure it was a 2 or a 3 at the next dead ball timeout.
Now Kane spinning, lost it. Turnover DePaul. Here come the Wildcats. Law will pop in transition. And the rebound ripped down by Eli Kane.
Hard's very fortunate there. He didn't get it over the back.
Nice take to the basket with the left hand. Kane scoring.
A rare defensive breakdown in communication by Northwestern. DePaul pushing the pace. No one stopped the basketball, and Kane able to get all the way to the rim.
Off the miss. Gage with a rebound. 2-point game. That one short. Air ball. Olujibi with a great save. Sets up the former Illini. Coleman lands. Olujibi hustling, saving, and Coleman lands. Knocks down the three.
And a nice job by Coleman Lands of taking his time there, extending the follow-through. That's a much-needed sign for DePaul because, as mentioned earlier, Coleman Lands has really struggled with that part of his game.
Turner, good look.
Feet weren't set. They were flayed out. He didn't have his feet under him when he went into the shooting motion, Corey.
His shot has not been falling, and he had a couple of good years shooting the ball at Boston College. Sitting out last year, that shot is not found where it once was. A 7-0 DePaul run. And it's happened quickly. And it's been with their ability to get in the lane and complete. They've spread out Northwestern defensively. Double team on Parton, throws it away, but last touch by the Blue Demons. It'll stay with the Wildcats. When we come back, Olujibi hustling, save contact with the line. So the Sergeant Holka over the line. The big toe. Yeah. So no 3, it's a 2, so it's a 12-4 game. As Law lost it, and now tied up on the floor, and a jump ball is called, and the arrow is going to give it to the Blue Demons. And that's the other thing. In addition to the straight line drives, you know, DePaul, quite frankly, has been a little bit more active going after loose balls. Olujibi down here created an opportunity for Coleman Lands, and right now Northwestern just a half a step slow on both ends of the floor. Next time offensively for Northwestern, I think it's really important that they get Parton going, get him a touchdown on the block. Here's Gage. Driving off the screen in the paint, left it short, got his own putback, and laid it in. That was easy. Way too easy if you're Northwestern. You don't clean up the miss. Again, it's a dribble drive which forced the defense to collapse. Then you don't clean up on the window. Nice job of going inside. Really good job by Northwestern. Look, if you're starting to hemorrhage, you want to make sure that you go down inside and get something going toward the basket. Parton doing his work early, Corey, getting the defender on him, but just not able to recover, drawing the contact. One of the few different bodies that Parton will see throughout the game. Jalen Butts, the sophomore from Fort Wayne, Indiana. And now a 5-second violation. We'll give it back to DePaul. Second turnover, and DePaul leads by 10. There have been some ugly meetings between these two teams over the years. First read off the fake, and he walked. And that'll give it back to the Wildcats. DePaul in particular, the last 9 games against the Wildcats, the Blue Demons have averaged only 55 points per game. So seeing what they've done already, just 6 minutes in, has not been the norm. And especially with the way that Northwestern has defended so far this year, the ease on a couple of those plays with which DePaul has scored is an area of early concern for the coaching staff and Chris Collins. Pull up doesn't go. Rebound contested, and it's pulled down by Kane off the A.J. Turner miss. And that's been an area of strength for DePaul this year, Corey. The Blue Demons +10 in rebounding margin coming into this ballgame. Northwestern 2 of 9 from the field, open up the game today. Now a whistle away from the ball, and Derek Parton was tied up with Jalen Butts inside, and Parton picks up his first. And if you're DePaul, that's what you want. Early foul trouble on Parton and Law, each now with 1. As Turner's going to come out, and Ryan Greer, freshman from Atlanta, takes his spot. And a more physical body, and Anthony Gaines guarding Strustow here on the far side. Miss up top from Eli Kane. And now Greer playing in his 8th game. There's Parton down low against Butts. Nice. Came over to help, but Parton still scores anyway. Really good job by Parton of getting the dribble, rhythm dribble, and then able to turn over that right shoulder with the left hand. Good high release. And the completion. Nice job inside. Also a scoring drought of nearly 3 minutes and 20 seconds. 8-point game. Here's Reed. Coleman lands over Greer, fell out, and Law the rebound, and kept his feet in bounds. You've done your job if you force Coleman Lands to put the ball on the floor. Here's the fine. No double team on Parton yet. And now Greer in the corner. Nance for three, way off the mark, and a whistle on the floor, and it's going to be on DePaul. As Pardon was going for the rebound, he was fouled by Paul Reed.
Nice interior feed by Greer off the bench. And you can see this rhythm dribble. And what it does is it gives him then momentum to turn over that right shoulder and go to a strong hand. And that's a very difficult shot, especially with Strus coming over to attempt the block.
Pardon shooting 67% from the field. Only Bruno Fernando is shooting at a higher percentage in the Big Ten. As the officials are going to head to the scores table to...
My guess is they're looking at a hook and hold, but with where that location of the foul. So much for that. No, they were determining who the foul was on.
Yeah, watching it live, it seemed to be Paul Reed was the one that was bodied up with Pardon. Yeah, there's a shove in the back, and that's the right call. Wildcats 0 of 6 from 3 so far today. Anthony Gaines, guarded by Devin Gage. Shot clock at 8 for Law. They'll see it, attack and score. And one.
And a really smart play by Anthony Gaines. Watch as this dribble drive comes at him, Corey. He seals off the defender, and then as the drive comes at him, he clears the space. If he stays there and he doesn't vacate with Law coming, number 11, watch him. Seal and then get out of the way. Really smart play by Anthony Gaines. Made that opportunity available for Vic Law.
And Reed just picked up his second, so he comes out. And now Law. 79% at the free throw line. And the Wildcats have answered. Down 5. Now it's Gaines guarding Strus.
Northwestern has certainly picked up the defensive intensity here in the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Lou should be back in. Has the ball in the corner with 7 to shoot.
Good defense by Pardon. Really good defense.
Tough pass. Somehow corralled by Butts. And the Blue Demons lead by 7.
Yeah, nice strong hands by Butts. But, Corey, there's no way that pass should get through the lane that easily. Northwestern did a very good job initially defensively. Just kind of broke down there.
2 points for Payne, favoring DePaul. Gaines answers off the glass.
Nice delivery by Pardon to turn and face the double team. If he tries to pass out of the double team, not facing the pressure, that play's not available.
Rounded out, knocked out. Last touch by Law. And a save with the Blue Demons leading by 5.
Derek Pardon continues to round out his game. Now he knows that the double team is coming, and rather than turn his back to it, he turns and faces the floor and sees his teammate diving toward the rim. Nice delivery by the senior out of the low block.
Northwestern began the game 2 of 9 from the field. Since then, as Law will come out, Wildcats have hit on 3 of their last 4.
They've all been in the lane. You had the jump hook by Pardon, the dribble drive by Law, and then the dive off the delivery from Pardon most recently.
Pardon now, Barrett Benson in. Coleman lands, quick catch and fire. Too strong, nice box out there from Nance. Ryan Taylor, graduate senior. Back in the floor for the Wildcats. This is Greer off the Benson screen. Wildcats still struggling from beyond the arc, now 0 of 7.
And right now, if you are DePaul with the immediate timeout coming, you have to take advantage of maybe getting to the rim. The shot blocking presence of Pardon is on the bench, trying to get him a little bit of extra rest, as they are with Vic Law. So you have to try to attack the rim and take advantage of this opportunity.
Strus right now for Blue Demons. And we have a timeout. 5-point game on BT.
Going to be the first to touch it in play. That's a point of emphasis from a few years ago, because what you saw is guys going out of bounds, much like you saw in the NBA, trying to get a better angle to come off the screen. If the ball were to touch someone else in a white jersey, then he could have received the ball legally. But since he was the first to touch it on the ball reversal after going out, that's a violation.
Gives it back to the Wildcats and Taylor. Strus will come back in. Next whistle for the Blue Demons. Benson fouled by Jalen Butts. Northwestern using the shot clock and not settling for perimeter jumpers at that time. Benson driving and fouled by Butts. And free throws upcoming for the junior from Willowbrook, Illinois.
And a nice delivery in pretty tight quarters by Northwestern there. And the most important part of that pass, Corey, was it led Benson toward the rim, and most importantly, with a big guy diving, it wasn't below his waist. It was above his belt line, which allowed him to catch and go up. If that's a foot either way, chances are that leads to a turnover.
Benson 5 of 9 at the free throw line this season. 6'10", 240. And among the better hairstyles in the Big Ten. Strus, Kopp, return. What do you think? That's a look. That's a great look.
It was yours before you got nice to high and tight here earlier today.
I'm still thinking it may come back one day. I'm optimistic.
Don't hold your breath, Corey.
So Benson splits the two. It's an 8-2 Northwestern run.
And Gaines has done a nice job of drawing that tough defensive assignment on Strus, providing a little bit more of a physical presence. He's got a tough load right now with Law on the bench, getting a little rest.
Saw the note. DePaul's cooled off. Olujobi down low. Nice give and go from Eli Kane.
One of the oldest plays in Dr. Naismith's game. You come up high with the screen, you roll, the give and go, nice delivery, good conversion by DePaul.
Olujobi becomes an important player right now for the Blue Demons, certainly on the defensive end. Among the bodies that DePaul was going to throw at Derek Pardon today. Well, two of the guys have 2 fouls already. At Butts and also Reed.
And he's got some experience, a graduate transfer from North Carolina A&T. 16.7 rebounds last time out.
Benson lost it, stripped by Gage. Attacking Gaines off the glass and in. And a whistle and a timeout called by the Wildcats. So Northwestern got within 4, but now an answer here from the Blue Demons. And a timeout here in Evansville.
Getting some momentum. It started on the defensive end. You saw the scrape, then the ability to kick it ahead. And points in conversion and points around the rim have been a big component of the early offensive success for DePaul here today.
Claude Pardon back in for the Wildcats. Pardon's been quiet so far. A.J. Turner and now Law against Eli Kane. The kick out. Good look up top, and still the Wildcats can't connect on a 3.
Gaines doing a nice job. He's done a nice job defensively, and here he kind of bails Northwestern out of a stagnant offensive possession with an offensive rebound.
Goal of 8 from 3. The Wildcats so far and down by 8.
Nice pass.
Another good look. Turner. And there's the first one.
And a really good pass cross court by Gaines. And the reason it was a good pass, it hit him right in the numbers and it led him into a shooting motion. Good delivery by Gaines cross court.
Turner, as I mentioned earlier, back at Boston College his last year before sitting out last year after transferring, was a 37% three-point shooter.
Well, they missed Pardon. Pardon ran the floor and he had a complete rim run. They just happened to miss him.
Kopp, no. Pardon tip, no. And Strus the rebound. Empty trip for the Wildcats. 5-point game.
And Pardon can't afford to get a cheap second one here. Oh, Corey. Somewhere my man Jack Sikma is smiling. That inside pivot. Wonderful delivery by the graduate transfer.
Femi Olujobi averaging 11 points per game. Last 4, he's averaging 12 points and shooting about 70% from the field. And a timeout, no. Tied up. Anthony Gaines jump ball and will stay with the Wildcats as we go back to the play you referenced. Look at Femi Olujobi down low.
And that's known as an inside pivot or a Sikma move. And what that does, Corey, is that with the ability to utilize that arm bar, if your back is to the basket within 3 feet of the lane, once you do that inside pivot, that arm bar has to come off. That creates a space and multiple offensive opportunities.
Pretty shot there from Vic Law in the paint. Law now with 7. Some balance here for DePaul. Offensively, no player has more than 5 points. 5-point game. Nice
job by Gaines of being there on the catch.
And we thought we'd see Law on Strus. It's been Gaines here more as the first half has moved along. Schreiner, tough shot, and all purple inside. Lyric Schreiner doesn't see too much action. Junior from Phoenix with the miss inside.
Appropriate that a guy named Schreiner has a circus shot.
Here's Kopp from the wing. Now the threes are falling for the Wildcats.
And the reason that three was available for Kopp, Corey, is that they went inside first, forced the defense to collapse, then the kick out. Nice job by the freshman of making himself available.
8-2 run. Kopp, good three-point touch. 8 of 16 on the year. Can Gage answer yes? Gage with 6. DePaul still shooting 55% from the field. No double. Olujibi, and there's the triple team.
Good repost.
Right back to him, and now Law. Along the baseline, floating, missing. Coleman lands the rebound.
And a nice job when Law was dribbling at Pardon that he vacated the area, took his defender with him.
Coleman lands off balance and way off. Turner off the feed. A one-point game as DePaul takes a timeout. Now the three-point shots were not falling earlier. They are now. Goals on 9 assists. The three-point numbers, they were ugly early, but after beginning 0 of 8, Wildcats have connected on their last 3. Northwestern has never led in this game. Ball leading by 1. Strus from the wing. And that's an answer for DePaul. Strus has 8.
And a good
second 3.
Good utilization, Corey, of the misdirection dribble. You get the defense flowing one way, then Kane kicks it back.
A.J. Turner averaging 10 points per game. Big Law up top, short. Strus the rebound.
His momentum was kind of taking him back rather than toward the rim.
Quick trigger, and Strus off the mark there. And here comes Gaines. Sets up Kopp for 3. Rattling around and just out.
What that extra bounce did, it threw off the timing of Pardon. He had a pretty good opportunity for a stick back, but when it hit the rim the second time, he wasn't able to reload on his jump.
Was that shot too quick for Chris Collins' liking?
I think since it came in transition and the defense wasn't set, he can live with that. That's something that they've tried to incorporate, and Kopp has shown himself more than able to knock down that jump shot, and especially with how they've kind of struggled in the half-court set.
5th DePaul turnover, gives it back. Gage in, and Schreiner comes out.
I think it's time for a touch inside for Pardon. You know, you've got this front line in foul trouble. Go inside, try to get him something going.
And there he is down low off his fingertips, and the Wildcats get it back.
A better pass away from the defense would have had the opportunity for him to score. Everyone talks about throwing to the teammate. It's more important to throw away from the defense initially.
Olujibi on a back parted down, does, and scores.
I'll tell you what, you know, Derek Pardon is a physical guy, but Olujibi, he's got all the tact of a 2x4 to the head.
6'9", 258. There's the double team on Pardon. Now Gaines, the kick out to A.J. Turner for 3.
And again, nice job by Turner making himself available, but how about the solid floor game so far in the first half by Anthony Gaines? That's 4 assists, no turnovers. 3 of his assists have led to made triples for his teammates.
Turner's 3rd 3 of the game. He had made just 5 all season before today. Under 4 to play. Olujibi. Turner slipped a little bit. Now a pass deflected into the hands of Coleman Land. Shot clock did not reset. It's at 2. And Kane gets it off and knocks it down just as the shot clock was about to expire. 7 points now for Eli Kane. Averaging 14 per game is Pardon.
Nice
Top
pass.
gives it back to Pardon, and a block and a foul. Strus is saying he had all ball. Instead, that's going to be a foul on the senior.
Offensive action picking up. DePaul going in.
And Tim Miles, he's hungry for that first win over his buddy, Greg McDermott. Let's see if that happens tonight. Nebraska coming off a loss at Minnesota earlier in the week. Harden knocks down the first free throw so far. 3 assists for Harden. To go with 3 points as he splits the 2.
That was an area in which he struggled versus Michigan. Only 1 of 5 from the line last time out for Northwestern versus the Wolverines.
Western only got to the free throw line 13 times in that game. Coming off that 2-point loss, had it blocked. Olujebi picked it up. What happened first? And it'll count. Olujebi with an and one upcoming.
I like this kid. Olujebi has scored in just a variety of ways. Northwestern thought he might have gotten away with a little bit of a shuffle there. They may have a point, but Olujebi doing a good job of understanding angles. The ball did not really hit the rim. He kind of slid in, got underneath, able to come back out, and a chance at a three-point play.
That was on Miller Kopp, his first. Olujebi does just that. 71% at the foul line. And Olujebi so far today outscoring Derek Harden inside 9-3.
And how about the fact he's had to do it with a lot of his front court mates getting in early foul trouble, so he's had to really carry the load on both ends.
And a foul as Turner on the drive, fouled by Gage.
And it's a small thing, but this is a really important thing at the end of the play. What you'll see on one side is the officials, they post, meaning that they both have a call, and then rather than one calling and the other calling something else, you'll see the near official right here, post. The hand goes up, both of them do. They look at each other and make sure that they're not offsetting one another with their call. They communicate non-verbally. Really good job by the officiating crew.
So 2 free throws here for Turner, makes the first. See Gage picking up the foul. Olujebi comes out, and Jalen Butts is back for DePaul. Turner, a nice first half. Up to 11 points. And they've all come in the last 6 minutes and 20 seconds of action.
Yeah, he had struggled shooting the ball, as we talked about at the top of the telecast. Good sign for Northwestern. He's been able to get going here offensively.
Now it's Big Law back on Strus. Deep 3 from the wing, spun around and out. And Turner the rebound.
You can live with that shot if you're Northwestern defensively. Even though it almost went in, you want Kane out there.
Kopp gets it back from Harden. Now back to him, and Strus went down the lane to knock it out of bounds.
Really good job by Strus of recovering defensively with that inside hand.
Stick around with the State Farm halftime report. Dave Remsen, Ben Brust, and Jess Settle. Let's break down the first half. All coming up on the State Farm halftime report. Turner, contact, a whistle inside, and an offensive foul.
You can see that unfolding. That's just a mistake. You need to utilize the 2-foot jump stop as he turns the corners. Turner turns the corner. You see Strus set. Easy call for the official to make. Will go the other way. Nice job of making sure that you're established 2 feet well outside the restricted area. Good job by the senior transfer for the Blue Demons.
First foul on A.J. Turner, 4th team foul.
Now Strus can go back door. He's taking Law. Law is aggressively guarding him all the way out on the perimeter. Give and go. And there's a good reason why you have to locate ball, man. Everyone's got caught locating and watching the ball with it in Strus's hands, and he made him pay. Good delivery, good completion there by Coleman Lands.
Northwestern got to within 1, but now the lead is ballooned back up to 8. Can Harden answer back? It's the freshman Kopp off the fingertips of Gage, will stay with the Wildcats at 13 to shoot.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Corey, DePaul has been really impressive on this end of the floor. You saw on that dribble drive, kind of like the old shell drill, meaning that when the ball moved, you saw the defensive personnel move accordingly, taking away that baseline pass.
Taylor catch and shoot. Short. Harden the offensive rebound. Turner's had the hot hand. But that one doesn't go, and Strus the rebound. Northwestern now 4 of 16 from 3. Deflected last touch by Eli Kane. Will give it back to Northwestern.
Solid play in the open floor by A.J. Turner. Watch him not giving up on the play. Gets in there, deflecting the vision. Goes off himself, then off Gage, will come the other way, off Kane.
Gaines. And now Pardon. No double team. Pardon lost it. Shot clock at 7. Gaines with 4. His pass deflected. Good defense from Strus and the Blue Demons. And now Kane on the push. No-look pass to a slicing Devin Gage. And the Blue Demons lead by 10.
What a play on both ends by Strus. It starts with the deflection, but then he sprints to the far wing. If he doesn't make that sprint, that pass to his teammate is not available because the passing angle, only one that would you have to defend. Really good job.
The largest lead DePaul has had. And now the shot clock and game clock nearly identical. These two teams last met last year at Wintrust Arena. DePaul led by 5 at halftime. State Farm halftime report coming up. And it's a 12-point game as Devin Gage lays it in with 4 seconds. Law on the push. Law got it off in time. It's off the mark, and DePaul will take a 12-point lead in the locker room. 41-29, outscoring the Wildcats 20-6 in the paint. As
off, excellent job of spacing the floor. Then watch, look off, look one way, go the other. Wonderful job in transition by DePaul, but it started with the savvy basketball play by Max Strus.
And a great shot there from our crew. You can see the eyes of Kane just kind of looking at Big Law and knowing that, yeah, I've got Strus over there, but I also have somebody else on the other side.
Nice job by
12-point game at the break.
Good job by Pardon of forcing going to the Law for left hand.
And now Pardon. Not many touches first half. And passing more than scoring. And now Pardon gets it down low, stripped, and a foul. Like Kane reached underneath. So you see the number. Looked like Pardon's shoulder kind of into the jaw of Kane. And Kane will grab a seat. As Paul Reed checks back in. Reed, not too many minutes first half. Foul trouble, and now Law. He was scoreless over the last 8 minutes of the first half. And knocks down his first attempt here in the second half.
And at the next break, much like we saw in the first half, they will go and take a look at that to determine whether it was a 2 or the 3. Last time it was called a 3, but it ended up being a 2 for Law. We'll see what happens on the next TV timeout.
Now scored at 2. And here is Strus back in the lineup today. Quick fire 3 off the mark. And the rebound to Northwestern's freshman Miller Kopp. Kopp, open lane, and then into traffic.
Lujaby, really good job of moving his feet, forced the turnover.
And now Strus gives it back. He thought Coleman Lands would head to the corner. Those two not on the same page, and the Blue Demons give it right back. Dave Lato's team is 5-1.
Law using the space that space dribble to give himself a better angle, almost identical to the shot that was in question in the first half, just on the opposite side of the floor.
Again, scored at 2. Kane back in. Reed out for the Blue Demons.
Good post, really good post. That's a nice set by Northwestern in the half court. You reverse the basketball, then a good strong duck in. It was rewarded for Pardon.
Gage out of control, nearly lost it.
And you could tell that Northwestern had a strong talking to in terms of some effort on the defensive end.
Poor pass, a turnover. Here is Turner off the pick and the punch. I was just going to ask you about that. What do you think the conversation was like from Chris Collins? Well, this team has come out with a great burst here in the second half.
If that would have been televised, my guess is that halftime speech might have needed that 7-second delay.
Coleman Lands down low. Olujibi blocked by Pardon and a foul. The crowd disagrees, but Pardon picks up his second as we go back to this a moment ago.
DePaul had dominated points in the paint, and you know that was a point of emphasis. Watch that duck in. Excellent duck in by Pardon. Strong post feed. And then Turner jumping the passing angle, able to go and convert on the other end. Then a shot fake. Boy, DePaul fortunate to be going to the line. I think Pardon would have been okay if he didn't draw the attention of the official by swinging down on the ball. If he points it, chances are they're going the other way.
Second free throw attempt all day for DePaul. And they're both from Alushabi. Alushabi 9 points, 4 rebounds. And he's been averaging about 12 points per game over his last 4, has 10.
And this is where Northwestern struggled, especially against Fresno State, with a little bit of pressure. DePaul kind of held it in abeyance in the first 20 minutes, but extending the pressure just a little bit here to start the half.
Ball felt that game's pushed off, no call, off the fake, a reset, and that three's off the mark from Turner, and now Strus to Gage. Cobb trying to get back and does, and blocks it out of bounds. No give up from the freshman. Now the bench is loving it as the freshman makes a great defensive play.
And a good job by Kopp, Corey, of going away. And watch him. He fades and then attacks the shooting angle. If he goes straight up, he might draw contact, but a really savvy play in the open floor by the freshman defensively.
Third block shot for the Wildcats down low. Alushabi bobbled, got it back. Pardon kind of backs up a bit. Alushabi scores.
And a good job by Alushabi of going to the opposite side. That took away the shot blocking opportunity for Pardon coming from the back.
First second half field goal. The lead is back up to 9.
Well, that was almost a foul there. That was very fortunate for DePaul. You got to go inside there every time.
Law contested 3 over Kane. Doesn't go, and Pardon's tip into the hands of Jalen Coleman lands.
Nice block out there by Alushabi, negating the length of Pardon.
That's the shot that Strus was making during pregame warm-up, time and time again off the heel that time.
If you're Northwestern, you have to make sure you locate him on the trail. Yep, you can see that coming. Kane dodged one earlier, okay? He dodged one in the previous possession, and here he goes for the steal. The officials gave him a little bit of berth. Now watch, he goes for the steal here, okay? Maybe a little contact. Now, you have to understand, you can't reach in with that inside arm. Very easy call for the officials.
Second foul on Eli Kane, senior from New Jersey. Alushabi comes out. He's played well. As Jalen Butts takes his spot.
I like to go right inside to the big guy.
And they do. Kick out. 3 doesn't go, and the struggles continue for the Wildcats.
But you can live with that shot because it came off a post touch, Corey. You got it inside, then you kick it out to a standstill. Excellent jump shooter, and Taylor just not able to knock it down.
3-point numbers for the Wildcats, 4 of 20, but just 1 for the last 9. That pass kicked by A.J. Turner, and that'll take us to a timeout. It was a 12-point game.
Just as we were discussing here, there wasn't enough to definitively overturn it.
Big Law 0-5, by the way, from 3 so far in the game. And Northwestern just 4 of 20. Out of the timeout, design play, but a block and a foul on Vic Law. That was set up by Dave Lato out of the timeout, and free throws upcoming, second on Law.
Beautiful pass off the curl cut by Strus. Now watch what he does. He puts it up high. Yeah, you've got to put your shoulder to the rim there. I mean, DePaul fortunate to be going to the line, because if he puts his shoulder to the rim, there was contact, no question, but you need to put your shoulder to the rim.
This is not an area of strength for Jalen Butts, now 8 of 15 at the line. Sophomore from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Misses both, and Paul Reed knocks out the basketball, so we're back to the Wildcats with 15:51 to play.
DePaul again on the dead ball situation, Corey, extending providing just slightly a little bit more than token pressure, trying to force Northwestern to burn some clock before they get into the half-court set.
Now, something that DePaul did not show much of at all in the first half, something that Dave Lato was saving if the time was right in the second half.
Yeah, I think he was holding that in abeyance and not giving Northwestern a chance to recover. And I think this is a foul right here out of frustration by Butts. He comes in there, he bricks a couple of free throws. You know that that's in his mind. And now he draws the third foul, and they have to go to the bench yet again. And Pardon just does a better job of getting lower than the post defender and drawing the contact.
So Butts will come out, 3 fouls. A quick breather for Alujabi. He is back in. He'll take on that challenge now, guarding Pardon. The first great look for Vic Law, and that's how it's gone all day long for Law and this Wildcats team offensively.
And Alujabi a really good job again, Corey, of getting his body into Pardon, negating the offensive rebounding opportunity.
Alujabi mid-range game is pure.
Take that, analytics.
14 for Alujabi. Smooth answer there from Ryan Taylor. That's a 3. First points for Taylor, averaging 13 a game. It's a prolific scorer in the Missouri Valley Conference last year. Graduate transfer. Scored 21 points per game for Evansville.
And led the conference, the Missouri Valley Conference, in that category a season ago.
Gage, no look pass to Reed, and a block and a foul on Taylor. Man, Reed was going to go high and hammer that one down. Instead, free throws upcoming.
And Corey, we talked about it was scoring in the paint, which was a big reason for DePaul's success in the first half. They haven't necessarily been able to score in the paint, but the point has remained the same. Their ability to dribble, drive, force Northwestern to collapse defensively, and then either kick outs or leaves at the rim. Northwestern has to do a better job here in the last 14 minutes plus of contraining that dribble drive.
Reed now 7 of 14 at the line. It's Chris Collins. Chat with his coaching staff. Western today wrapping up a stretch of 7 games in 17 days. Finals upcoming. Wildcats will play next week from Monday here against Chicago State.
Well, they're getting close. Yeah, they got it above. But look where the clock is.
10 seconds went off, and now Reed with a big stuff on Pardon. Kane, the crossover. He threw that one to Sean.
My hands were ready.
Reed. Spinning. Now Kane.
They've got a mismatch on the far side. If they can get the ball to Strus, he can take Turner.
Kane, after he never had a chance, off the nose of Pardon and corrals him.
DePaul missed an opportunity because Northwestern was caught in a mismatch defensively.
Gains off the fake, but first he walked. And a turnover gives it back to DePaul. We go back to this impressive block from Reed.
Paul Reed able to come backside. And you saw Pardon's momentum kind of carrying him toward the baseline. That allowed Reed to come over and pin it against the window.
Wildcats have gone cold again from the field. Just one made field goal last 4-10. And you've seen that throughout the game today. How about that angle for Devin Gage?
And what did it come off of? Again, a straight line dribble drive. They were so concerned about Strus in the corner, the help was not forthcoming. Nice recognition by DePaul.
Now, Gage has had a great game, 12 points. DePaul still shooting about 54% from the field.
Good repost.
Against Alujabi. Pardon. Foul. Free throws upcoming as we go back to this drive from Devin Gage.
And that is a degree of difficulty, probably about a 9.2, because you have a young man, Pete Nance, rotating over. You're giving up about half a foot, and Gage doing a really good job of turning the corner, understanding angles, and then coming to the opposite side, negating that opportunity for the length to come over and block the shot.
Ball trying to put down the second Big Ten team already this season after defeating Penn State in the Gavitt games earlier. As Strus comes out and Jalen Coleman lands. Will take his spot. Pardon 6 points. This should be the rebound. Some free throws. Olujbi up top. That's the day he's been having. Just his second made three all year in 3 attempts.
Showing you his entire offensive inventory today.
A.J. Turner got it back, Gage down, nearly threw it away. Nice catch there from Law. Fadeaway over Kane, too strong.
Nice back tap by Parton, keeps it alive.
And a reset. Nance spinning, shoveling, Parton scoring.
Parton rewarded for keeping the possession alive. That back tap allowed Northwestern another crack at it. He's rewarded with a good interior feed.
Fancy dribbling there, Olujbi. And one. So Gage creating, all fired up, and look at the DePaul bench.
And again, Corey, the dribble drive is destroying Northwestern on their defensive end of the floor. It's either led to conversions over the rim or putting them in a scramble situation. And Olujbi continuing his outstanding afternoon. Wonderful delivery on the bounce pass. DePaul playing very confidently and deservedly so.
And Derek Parton checks out for Northwestern, and he is hot right now. He frustrated as he is pacing back and forth in front of the Northwestern bench, and now will sit with 3 fouls.
And what that does for Northwestern on the defensive end of the floor, you go right back to Olujbi because the shot blocking presence that is Derek Parton is on the bench for the foreseeable future, at least probably until the 8-minute mark.
Nance to Vic Law. Does he have to take over here to give Northwestern a chance?
Yeah, they got to put the ball in his hands and allow him to do something off the dribble because they not have this consistent post threat of Parton that can bail him out.
Shot clock winding down. Law short. Rebound Gage. Law is now 0 of 7 from 3. Reed against Nance. Should be thought about it. Benson hits the deck, and what do we have? Officials will chat, and blocking foul on Benson will take us to a timeout. Femi Olujbi and the Blue Demons having a great time at Evanston, up by 14 on BT.
Parton, he's not upset, Corey, that the foul is called. He knows he fouls him. He's upset with his teammates that he was put in that position because of their inability to keep the drive in front of them.
Strus miss. Here come the Wildcats. Again, Derek Parton on the bench right now with 3 fouls. Nance with Taylor and Law, Benson, and Greer.
A little bit of a matchup zone defensively here for DePaul.
Shove in the back, and that's going to be a foul on Paul Reed, sophomore from Orlando. And that's going to be his 3rd.
I think that's probably a big reason that it was made a point of emphasis. Now remember, this was not a rule change year. This was put in place because of player welfare. And I think what's going to happen, Corey, remember a few years ago when bumping the cutter was a course and a source of frustration for fans and coaches? Well, they cleaned that up. It's a matter of the players and the coaches, kind of getting acclimated and used to the way the game's being officiated because the referees are just doing their job, what they've been instructed to do.
Benson kept that one alive. Offensive foul, a charge as Vic Law.
And Olujbi, I tell you what, he is playing an outstanding game on both ends of the floor. Watch him rotate over, and that takes some guts because he took some contact, shall we say, south of the equator and is able to come up and...
Yep. I see you.
Yeah.
You get it. We get it.
I put that as tactfully as I could.
You did great.
Thank you.
You did great. Meanwhile, 3 fouls on Vic Law, 3 fouls on Parton, and both are on the floor right now.
And if you're Northwestern, you have to keep Parton out there because you need that post presence. There's still a lot of time left. You have to be able to rely not just on jump shooting, but go inside offensively.
Kane will settle a fadeaway 3, spun out, and Parton had a strip by Strus. Another contested ball that was won briefly by DePaul, and now the Wildcats try to counter in transition. No go for Ryan Taylor.
And Parton still trying to shake off some contact. His eyes are watering right now. He was not able to get back in transition offensively. And you know what? If I'm DePaul, I'm going to Olujbi, maybe try to get that 4th on Parton.
Wildcats only 2 of their last 12 from the field. You saw the numbers. Rough day offensively for Northwestern. cutting Strus against Gaines. The miss. Gage saved it. Strus in the corner. Shot clock expiring. No, and Gaines the rebound.
And Northwestern fortunate there because, again, DePaul, as they have for much of this ball game, just a step quicker to the ball.
Olujobi defending, only one foul. Another chance, another misfired three. But Law wins that rebound battle against three DePaul defenders. Northwestern has been more active on the offensive glass this half, but still not converting those chances into points. And Pardon fouled, and he will shoot two. As we go back to Pardon in the contact, Sean, you referenced a moment ago.
See, coming right there. You know, Strus making a play on the ball and inadvertently caught Pardon in the face. And, you know, his eyes were kind of watering for about a possession and a half. But you saw why it's so important for Northwestern to have Pardon in the ball game. Even with those three fouls, Corey, still plenty of time. You don't want to get away from going inside to Pardon and giving DePaul something to think about defensively.
It's Jalen Bunson. Olujobi comes out. 16 fouls apiece now. Coleman lands, whistled for the foul, his second. Pardon now 2 of 5 at the line, making 3 of 6. He's at 9 points. A.J. Turner has 13 to lead the Wildcats. There's Gage around Turner. No go. And Pardon trying to seal the ball out, but that kept the ball alive.
DePaul just flat out, they're out hustling Northwestern right now. More occasions than not, just beating them seemingly to every loose ball.
Gage the pull-up and a smooth stroke there from Devin Gage.
Yeah, and it's a reason that you get rewarded for hustle plays. Keeping the play alive leads on the back end to Gage with that mid-range jump shot.
How about the images we just saw? Celebration for DePaul, frustration there for Chris Collins. But that helps for the Wildcats. A 3 from up top. Still a 12-point game with 9:02 to go. Turner has 16 on 4 threes. He's 4 of the 6 made threes for the Wildcats all day. Kane goes behind the back. Around Law, over Pardon, the miss, and gains the rebound. Numbers for Northwestern. Turner, the layup. Here come the Wildcats in transition, and the lead is down to 10.
Now with Olujobi on the bench, now would be a good time to maybe try to isolate Strus. Even though he's facing a physical defender in Gaines, your offensive options are kind of limited with the transfer trying to get a rest here.
Kane the spin over Pardon, fell out, and the rebound to Gaines. Momentum for the Wildcats. Gaines slashing, creating, setting up Law from the corner for 3, and the Wildcats are back in this game.
I think you're going to see DePaul get over and burn a timeout here, try to stem the tide.
And sure enough, the Blue Demons call a timeout, an 8-0 Northwestern run. And Chris Collins and his team with an answer here. Setting up Vic Long, who's had a nightmare of a day shooting. But that 3 finally went down. You see an 8-0 run. And the Wildcats have trimmed the DePaul lead to 7.
How about the game by Gaines? Hasn't scored a great deal, but 7 assists, only 2 turnovers for the sophomore.
It's +8. Look at his overall numbers today. 6 assists. Shot clock late. A force from Strus up top. Doesn't go. And Law with the save. Northwestern ball.
Nice defensive stand by Northwestern off the dead ball situation, forcing a desperation 3 with the clock ready to expire. I'm going inside to Pardon. I mean, he's got the advantage if they're able to get the ball to him.
Olujobi not in there right now. Law stripped and fouled by Kane. So we have a timeout. Free throws upcoming for Vic Law when we come back. A 7-point game at Evanston.
I would be surprised if he does not re-enter this ball game here in the next couple of minutes. And the other thing, if you are DePaul, in addition to kind of stemming the offensive flow that Northwestern's been able to get into, if this gets into a foul shooting contest, the DePaul Blue Demons are going to need to convert. A year ago, you know, they went 9 of 24 from the foul line in a game that they only lost by a bucket. And so far today, 4 of 8 from the charity stripe.
The Wildcats have scored on their last 5 offensive possessions. It's a 10-0 run. Olujibi will come back in for the Blue Demons at the next whistle. And Strus has been quiet too, and now fouled by Gaines. And
that's another example of why you want to turn and face the defense, Corey. Gaines was able to utilize that armbar, but as soon as Strus turns and faces him, that armbar has to come off. Strus identified that, put the ball on the floor, and drew the contact.
Olujibi back in. 1-1 upcoming here for Max Strus. 73% at the free throw line this year. Strus with 8 points. And front end is short, but the offensive rebound, and Jalen Coleman lands. On the drive, Gage the miss.
Northwestern dodged one there because yet another straight line drive just came up short for DePaul.
Law asking Turner to come out, and he nearly over the back. Big Law inside. 16 all of a sudden for Big Law. And it's a 1-possession game, a 12-0 run.
Even though he just checked into the ball game, this is a nice time to get the ball to Olujibi down there on the block, especially with Pardon in those 3 fouls.
Payne, he's waiting for help. No screen comes. He'll drive and now bounces it. Olujibi made 1 3 today. That one spun out. And now the Wildcats can tie the game with a 3. Pardon. No. Pardon. The rebound and a foul. Love the emotion on Pardon's face right now. The senior at the line for 1-1.
Kind of had it blocked on the way up. As a result, kind of threw it more than shot it. And Pardon just taking the extra step, drawing the contact from Coleman Land.
Pardon at the line today, 3 of 6. You see the numbers this season. And the Wildcats making free throws here in the second half. Now 10 of 14 as a team. DePaul led 57-42, and now it's a 2-point game as Pardon misses the second. Dave Lato's jacket has come off. Strus from the corner for 3. Now 0 of 7 from the field this half is Strus.
And you can tell that the defensive intensity, it's paid dividends in this regard, Corey. DePaul is far less comfortable on the offensive end than they were in the first 20 minutes.
This for the lead. First time all day the Wildcats have led. They do so at 58-57. Olujibi, can he answer? No, and gains the rebound. So Ryan Taylor's 3 has given the Wildcats the lead.
And DePaul really on their heels right now.
Wildcats have scored, Sean, 8 straight trips down the floor. Shot clock at 8. Turner! And now the threes are falling. DePaul has 2 timeouts left, make it 1. A 19-0 run. Back-to-back threes from Law's gotten hot, and this is how they've done it here in the second half.
5 of 12 from behind the arc for Northwestern here in the second 20 minutes. The one constant has been the shooting of A.J. Turner. 5 of 9 from deep so far in the ballgame.
Kane trying to get something going. Instead, a steal. Taylor to Turner. Can he do it again? Yes! Olujibi hustling, tripping, traveling.
And right now, Corey, if you're DePaul, you've heard the saying that the wheels are coming off. Right now, the transmission's dropping out.
Yeah, DePaul coming apart here at the end. Blue Demons haven't scored last 6 minutes and 20 seconds of action. Turner with 7. Now Long with 5 up top. Northwestern in the zone right now. Long with 19. A 25-0 run.
That's not a run, that's a marathon.
6 for 6 from 3 during this run. And now a foul call. It's on Ryan Taylor.
And it starts with, again, the post touch. Nice unselfish play by Derek Pardon, getting it out to Vic Law, who had struggled, to say the least, from behind the arc in the first 20 minutes, as did his team as a whole, with the exception of A.J. Turner. But, boy, they have picked it up here. An excellent job of sharing the ball. Their ratio of assists to made field goals is phenomenal here this afternoon.
1-1. Coleman lands finally raises that score number by 1. Dave Lato, his team led 57-42. All had 3 fouls. Pardon had 3 fouls. All the momentum was on DePaul's side. Olujibi had to leave. And then the Blue Demons fell apart as Northwestern got hot. Hard to bring the ball up the floor. And now Turner throws it away. Ian Gaines on the same page there. Chris Collins say AJ. Turner maybe with the turnover there, but still 24 points. He's made 6 threes.
I just can't say enough about the overall floor game of Anthony Gaines for Northwestern today.
Kane, contact, no whistle. Got it back, and now a Pardon block. Turner spinning out of a trap. Under 2 to play. Turnover. That one off the fingertips of Law. DePaul has to hurry. Gage off the glass and 1.
And, boy, that's why this game is still very much in doubt, because if Northwestern has had one constant struggle this season, it's been the inability to handle pressure. DePaul has had to ratchet it up out of necessity. The one game that they really weren't in for any period of time was the Fresno State game out in California, and a big reason for that was the pressure put forth by the Bulldogs. And if you're Northwestern right now, you need to tidy things up in the half court.
4 fouls now on Long. 5-point game. And sure enough, Blue Demons will set up the full court pressure.
DePaul has 1 foul to give before it goes to the double bonus.
.90 seconds to go. Shot clock at 10. That's a tough shot.
Too early.
And Pardon with the foul. And now Olujibi will go to the free throw line. That's the 4th on Pardon.
I don't think that Ryan Taylor was completely aware of how much time was left on the shot clock.
Good point.
Shot clock was at 10. You don't need to force that. That's a shot you take if the shot clock is at 2, not 10.
It's the 10th foul on the Wildcats, so 2 free throws upcoming here for Femi Olujibi. This is something you referenced earlier, that free throws will be vital here for DePaul, and big spot right now for Olujibi. Good touch there. Just getting started here on BTN. Illinois UNLV coming up next. To make this a 1-possession game, Olujibi's second free throw is good. So after the 25-0 run, DePaul with a 7-0 run.
Somebody's got to come out. I'm not a math major.
Six doesn't play.
You know, there were 6 Blue Demons out there for a while.
And so Olujibi will come out. Coleman lands back in. Trap.
I think they wanted to give the foul on Pardon.
I was thinking the same thing. I asked you if they were going to try to foul Pardon, extend the game, and put Pardon, not a great free throw shooter, at the line.
Now you just have to lock it down defensively if you're DePaul, because the shot clock is at 15. You don't want to bail Northwestern out now with a foul.
But Pardon and Law both on the floor, both with 4 fouls. 5 to shoot. Here is Law with 3. Stripped, and a foul called on Strus with 3 on the shot clock. Strus with the violation. It's his second foul. And a block.
Well, Northwestern fortunate there, because Law, look at it, there's 3 white jerseys. Law kind of comes loose. That's a tough one to have go against you if you are DePaul. This will be a 1-on-1. We mentioned earlier that DePaul had 1 foul to give before it went to the double bonus. It occurred right there.
Law 3 of 3 at the line today. Going back, I'm with you. I think that DePaul missed out a chance to foul Derek Pardon. Dave Lato's team had a chance to do that in the backcourt.
Right.
And instead, a lot of time went off the game clock, the shot clock, and now Law, much better free throw shooter, converts.
And then when it got over into the half-court set score and the shot clock was, you know, sub-20, you can't foul then.
Tough 3 from Strus, doesn't go, and the rebound to Pardon.
Man, Anthony Gaines, even though other players have scored more, some have more rebounds, but the overall floor game of Anthony Gaines has been something to behold tonight. 7 assists, only 2 turnovers, and he has drawn a significant part of the defensive assignment on Max Strus, and he has responded admirably.
7 assists, 7 rebounds. He's only taken 1 shot in 30 minutes of action today, Anthony Gaines. So now 2 for Vic Law, 10 team fouls. And Vic Law, a frustrating day shooting, but never gave up on attempt after attempt. And he had a big second half.
Boy, let's not forget, in the most recent outing from Northwestern, they were down 15 as well to the Wolverines. Now, they came almost all the way back. It appears you could compare the offensive comfortable level that DePaul had in the first half contrasted mightily here in the second 20 minutes.
Chris Collins' team defensively has been one of the better defensive teams in the country. And we have seen why here as this game has moved along. Eli came with a layup, and DePaul takes his last time out with 25 seconds to go in a 5-point game. To kind of follow up on that point, the Wildcats are allowing no timeouts left for DePaul.
And Corey, Turner came into this ball game shooting 17% from behind the arc.
Gaines now crossed the line and fouled by Devin Gage. And we mentioned that earlier, that A.J. Turner sat out last year after transferring from Boston College. If you go back to 2016, 2017, he's a 37, 38% three-point shooter. But before today, was only 5 of 29. So he's had that stroke in the past. And up until today, really haven't seen it, at least with the Wildcats.
And he's more than just a three-point shooter, although that is certainly a big part of his game, Corey. Back to his second year before transferring from Boston College, that young man, A.J. Turner, led the ACC in assist-turnover ratio, almost a 3-to-1 ratio in a very difficult league.
You have mentioned the name Anthony Gaines many times. Northwestern today, great note here, plus 21. The Gaines the three, plus 21. Final 15. Strus, the heave, no good. Kane the rebound, blocked, and Law is fouled. 8.7 to play. And Northwestern will head into finals, 7-3. And the emotion from that man, co-captain Derek Harden. Now that is flipped, and the frustration for Dave Lato. His team led by 15, but Northwestern will win this game. Chris Clemens and his team will be off for about 9 days. Final exams. Big Law with 25 points. Coleman Lance lays it in. And that'll do it from Welsh Ryan. What a rally for Northwestern. Chris Clemens and his team, 33-11 to run the final 9:48 of this game.